Hello, classic film lovers, and welcome back to Hollywood Reminders, the place where silver screens still shine, legends never fade, and the golden age of television lives on. Today, we're stepping into the spotlight to celebrate one of the most fearless, hilarious, and groundbreaking women in entertainment history. She made us laugh until our sides hurt. She broke barriers behind the camera. And she did it all with red hair, oversized sunglasses, and a dream too big to ignore. This is the story of Lucille Ball. And whether you've seen her stomping grapes or pitching vitamin Taveman, get ready, because here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Lucille Ball. Some will make you laugh. Others might even bring a tear to your eye. Number 10, she was rejected over and over, but never gave up. Long before she became America's favorite housewife, Lucille Ball was told she'd never make it. Studio executives called her too ugly, said her nose was too big, her hair too bright, and that she lacked star quality. One casting director flat out said she'd never be anything more than a chorus girl. For over 2 decades, she bounced from minor film roles to uncredited parts, often playing the other blonde in forgettable B-movies. But Lucy refused to quit. She studied every comic, from Charlie Chaplin to Mae West. She practiced timing, facial expressions, physical gags, all while waiting for her moment. And when that moment finally came, she didn't just arrive. She exploded onto the scene, not as a dramatic actress, but as the greatest comedian the world had ever seen. 2009, she was the first woman to run a major television studio after ILoveLucy ended. Many expected Lucy to retire, maybe write a memoir, enjoy her fame. Instead, she did something no woman in Hollywood had ever done before. In 1962, after her divorce from Desi Arnaz, Lucille Ball bought out his shares and became the first woman ever to run a major television studio, Desilu Productions. Think about that. In an era when most women were still expected to stay home, Lucy was sitting in boardrooms, greenlighting shows, negotiating contracts, and under her leadership, Desilu produced some of the most iconic series in TV history, including Star Trek, the original series Mission Impossible, and The Dick Van Dyke Show. She didn't just break the glass ceiling. She smashed it with a grape-stomping foot. Number 8. Her on-screen pregnancy broke all the records. In 1953, Lucy Ricardo gave birth to little Ricky on national television. But this wasn't just another episode. It aired on the same night as President Dwight D. Eisenhower's inauguration. And yet, 44 million people chose to watch Lucy instead. That made it the most watched television event in history at the time, a record that stood for years. Now, here's the twist. Back then, the word pregnant was banned from TV, so they used phrases like expecting a baby or going to have a little miracle. But Lucy fought to show her real-life pregnancy, and in doing so, she brought real women's experiences into American living rooms for the first time. Number 7, she wasn't acting drunk in vitamin Taveman. One of the most iconic comedy scenes of all time, when Lucy hosts a late-night commercial for a tonic called Vitamin Taveman and slowly gets drunker with every sip. Her slurred words, wobbly stance, and wild gestures had audiences in stitches. But here's the truth, she wasn't acting. The tonic was mostly water, but it was mixed with pure alcohol fumes. After take, those fumes built up in her system. By the final shot, she was genuinely lightheaded and laughing uncontrollably. Even the crew could barely keep it together. That's why the scene feels so real, because it was. 6, she did all her own stunts. No doubles, no safety net, no CGI, no stunt doubles. Just Lucille Ball risking it all for a perfect punchline. Whether she was trying to wrap speeding chocolates on a factory line, squeezing into a giant cake, or getting stuck in a trunk, she did it herself. In the famous Candy Factory episode, she actually ate dozens of chocolates on set, leading to nausea and exhaustion. And during the grape-stomping scene, she slipped, fell, and nearly got trapped in the vat. But she kept filming, covered in purple goo, laughing through discomfort. Because for Lucy, comedy wasn't just a job. It was a mission. Number 5, her marriage was real and more complicated than TV on screen. Lucy and Ricky were the perfect mismatched couple, fiery, funny, and deeply in love. Off-screen, their marriage was passionate. But troubled, Lucy married Cuban bandleader Desi Arnaz in 1940, a bold move at a time when interracial marriages were frowned upon, especially on television. To convince skeptical networks to cast Desi, Lucy insisted they play a real couple and co-created ILoveLucy together. They revolutionized TV production, pioneered syndication, and built an empire, but their personal lives suffered. Infidelity, arguments, and career stress eventually led to divorce in 1960. Still, they remain close. And Desi later said, "I would rather have had 10 years with Lucy than a lifetime with anyone else." Number 4, she mastered physical comedy like no one else. Lucille Ball didn't just tell jokes, she lived them. She studied silent film legends like Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin, learning how to use her face, body, and timing to create unforgettable moments. Watch her eyes widen when she realizes she swallowed smoke from a cigar gag. See her jaw drop when she finds wine in her grape juice. Every gesture, every stumble, every exaggerated gasp, meticulously planned, perfectly executed. She proved that comedy isn't just about words. It's about humanity and vulnerability, and the courage to look ridiculous so we can all laugh together. 3. She was fired, then came back as a creator early in her career. Lucille was fired from RKO Studios. Not once, twice, executives said she wasn't photogenic enough, lacked sex appeal, and would never succeed in talkies. So what did she do instead of giving up? She went behind the scenes. She learned scriptwriting, studied production, and worked in radio. That knowledge became her secret weapon. When ILoveLucy was born, she wasn't just the star, she was a co-creator, co-producer, and driving creative force. She demanded control over casting, writing, and filming, and changed the game forever. Number 2, she was 40 years old when she became a superstar. Let that sink in. When ILoveLucy premiered in October 1951, Lucille Ball was already 40 years old. In Hollywood, where youth is often worshipped, Lucy defied the odds. She wasn't an ingenue, she wasn't chasing fame. She was a seasoned performer who finally found her lane and turned it into a highway. She proved that women don't peak in their 20s, that talent, timing, and tenacity matter more than age. And she opened doors for generations of women who thought they'd missed their chance. Number 1, she changed television forever more than any single fact. This is the truth. Lucille Ball didn't just star in a sitcom. She reinvented the medium. She insisted on filming with multiple cameras in front of a live audience, a technique now standard across TV. She fought to keep film rights, creating one of the first syndicated shows, which made her and Desi millionaires. She normalized working women, cross-cultural marriages, and female ambition on screen. And above all, she showed the world that a woman could be both hilarious and powerful. Not just a clown, not just a wife, but a visionary. Lucille Ball wasn't just ahead of her time. She created a new timeline for women in entertainment, so the next time you see Lucy trying to hide chocolates in her hat or stumbling through a commercial with a bottle of fake tonic, remember, that wasn't just comedy, that was courage, innovation, resilience, and a whole lot of heart. If this journey through Hollywood history moved you, if you laughed, learned, or felt a little closer to the golden age tonight, please hit the like button. It helps more classic fans discover this channel. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another reminder of the legends who shaped our screens. Because stories like Lucille Ball's, they're too important to forget. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your name, and this has been Hollywood Reminders, where the past is always present. Until next time, keep smiling, keep remembering, and keep celebrating the stars who taught us how to laugh. Good night, and as Lucy would say, honey, you better cut that out.